All right, for 10 through 13, the instructions say find the following functions for each h of x, which all these you notice it says find h of x. H of x is the f divided by the g. All right, so for each of these, we're going to define these two, and you just have to divide them. Okay, so here we go. We've got h of x equals your f over your g. Well, in this case, that's x squared plus 5x minus 24 divided by x minus 3, okay? So the way we divide these is by factoring and canceling. We factor just like we did on the first part, and we cancel just like we did on the second part. So let's start here. All right, the x minus 3, there's really nothing to do with that because there's no x squared. So we're done with that. The x minus 3 is fine. Okay. For the one on top, put it in parentheses and go. What are two things that multiply to x squared? Well, that's x and x. What are two things that multiply to negative 24? 24 is probably going to be either 6 and 4 or 3 and 8, most likely. I think in this case it's a 3 and an 8. And we're adding to a positive 5, so we need more positives than we need negatives. And then so check. X times 8 is 8x. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. 8 minus 3 is 5. Yep, that's the middle term. So that is the correct combination. Okay. From here, we can start canceling and go, oh, that goes away. Ooh, that goes away. And then what we're left with is x plus 8. So h of x equals x plus 8. Cool. That's how all four of these work. No tricks. That's it. All right. So here we go. Let's pause the video and try them, or you can just listen along and see how much you retain that way. So in this case, f of x is x plus 2. All right, and g of x, the one on bottom, because remember it's f divided by g, is x squared minus 3x minus 10. So the x plus 2 on top, there's nothing to do with it because there's no x squared. And the bottom, we'll put up parentheses. Two things that multiply to the left are x and x. Two things that multiply to 10. Well, that's 10 and 1 or 5 and 2. I'll start with 5 and 2. And it's a negative 10. So since we're adding up to a negative 3, I need more negatives than positives. So that means the bigger number would have to be negative. Even if it's the wrong combination, to check it out, that's what it has to be. So x times, no, not x times x. X times 2 is 2x. Negative 5 times x is negative 5x, and those add up to negative 3, which is what I want. Yay! Yay! Equal, okay, so those cancel out at this point. And there's nothing left on top, so I'm going to put a 1 there. Because you kind of have to have something to show that this x minus 5 is in the denominator. All right? All right, if the numerator is all that's left, you can just leave it because we don't have to write over 1. We already know that it's over 1. But if it's in the denominator, you have to put the 1 on top to show that it's in the denominator. Cool. All right, last two. All right, so I gotta get to where I can see it. So h of x equals x squared plus 7x plus 12 divided by x squared minus 4x minus 21. And start factoring. All right, two things that multiply to the left are x and x. Actually, for both of them, it's x and x. All right, but we'll do the top one first. Two things that multiply to 12. Let's do 6 and 2. And everything is positive, so they've got to be positive. 6x and 2x add up to 8x, which is not the middle term. Okay, so let's try something else. Multiply to 12. Let's try 3 and 4. That's 3x and 4x add up to 7x. Yep, that's the middle term, so that's what I want. Alright, let's do the bottom. Two things that multiply to 21. Still probably 7 and 3. And there's more as a negative number in the middle, so there has to be more negatives than positives. So the bigger number is negative. So x times 3 is 3x. That's a 3, believe it or not. And negative 7 times x, negative 7x, so that up to negative 4. Which again is your middle term. Yay! Alright, from here, excuse me, start canceling. X minus 3, you're left with x plus 4 over x minus 7. And that's your answer. Hopefully by now you're brave enough to try the last one on your own. If you're not, well, I hope you do well on your test tomorrow. But here we go, x minus 3 over 20, x squared minus 8x plus 15. Alright, so for the top one, two things to multiply the left for x and x. Two things to multiply the right. For 30, let's try 5 and 6. And there's positive in the middle, so that means the bigger one has to be positive because you need more positives. That's 6x and negative 5x, which is 1. Yay! Come on. Alright, so for the bottom, two things that multiply to the left. Two things that multiply to 15. Probably 5 and 3. So let's clean up that 5 for those students who are just getting to the end and copying it, not listening. So that's 3x, that's 5x, that's 8x, but it's positive instead of negative. So we know we got the right set of numbers. We just need to switch the signs. Instead of both positive, well, they need to be both negative. Negative 5 and negative 3. Because a negative times a negative is still a positive 15, but they'll add up to that negative 8. Alright, the 5s go away. And we're left with x plus 6 over x minus 3. And that's that.